Hi, this is TapCat. Welcome to part 2 of Let's Play Prison Architect. In a way, this is probably more part 1.1, since this is going to be our first real attempt to start building and managing a prison. Last installment, if you recall, it was almost more of a little drama setup about the death penalty. This is going to be our first chance to really get hands-on. Now, I've already paused the game so that we have time to do our work before the prisoners run out, before the prisoners arrive, because that's going to happen in 24 hours. Now, we've received a letter from the CEO, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. And you can see he's giving us some tips. Specifically, to start, he wants us to build a small holding facility. But we already know that's not going to get us very far. So I am going to take his advice and build the holding cell right now. But we're going to put up a cell block as soon as we can with individual cells. And then he's also kind enough to let us know that feeding prisoners is a good idea. And apparently access to water is good too. So I'll be sure and write him a memo thanking him for those helpful tips, and we're going to try to put that into action. Now, as you can see, you're just given a completely blank slate almost. The only thing we have are these slots here for garbage and deliveries. Whatever else we want to do, that's up to us to just make it happen. So one thing I did before I started recording, I spent quite a bit of time putting together a little blueprint so that, I'd know what to do. I highly recommend you do that. I have to say, I think this game would just be extraordinarily punishing to someone who just kind of fires it up and lets it rip. So let's see, we want this one to be 11 meters. And then I want a door. There and there. And we want a walkway. Now, as I understand it, walkways help your workers and everybody else move faster. So, it's not just a cosmetic thing. There's a tangible benefit to having these kind of sidewalks. All right. So we're just trying to set it up so that obviously we can get around nice and fast. And then we're going to set up a fence as well. And the reason for that should be fairly obvious because we don't want people leaving. It's bad form for a prison. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to carry this all the way out. We are obviously going to have to build fences around the entire perimeter. But because time is so short before we start accepting prisoners, what I'm probably going to have to do is kind of put up some makeshift fencing in some key areas that we'll tear down later. But it'll keep people where we want them in the short term. Okay, let me do this. I think I'm going to go back to the paving stones. This is actually something else, like trying to follow this and, everything you're trying to do. Actually, let me go back to here. So that's fine. Okay. So now we want to build the path, and we want it to go to here. And we're going to go one more tile and come across and down. And this is where we're going to put our holding cell. Need one more tile, and we're going to come down 13 meters. All right. We're doing it. We're getting there. Actually, I think let's do this. Under materials, can I just right click? Yeah, let's just get rid of this. And then what we'll do instead is we'll build the fence like this, so that they can get to the holding cell, but they can't get out that way. And then obviously we'll need something on this other side too. But I am concerned about how much time we have to, make this happen. Now, I'm going to go ahead and at least let our workers move in slow motion, because I've already given them plenty to do to keep them busy for a little bit. All right, now we're going to build showers right next to our holding cell. And I believe, yeah, I need a walkway for that as well. And I'm probably going to turn it on to full speed here in a minute, because there isn't a lot of point in just piling up an insanely huge queue of stuff for them to do. That then they're going to kind of think they're going to do everything pretty inefficiently, because they just have so much piled up. Okay, now how big is this? It's supposed to be 18, and it is. Beautiful. Okay, so now we want to come down. Is that really 3 meters? Yeah, it is. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to place a water pumping station right here. Because as the warden was kind enough to tell us, water is good. It's funny. I poke fun at it. The reality is there's probably a lot of stuff that you would not think of, and that even with the planning that I've tried to do, I have not thought of. My working assumption is that despite the fact that I honestly did attempt to put a halfway decent plan together, this prison is probably not going to be very good. And, we'll take it as far as we can. But ultimately, we're probably going to have to scrap this one and rebuild once we, get a better sense of how things are supposed to work. Now, I'm still getting a thing to read the CEO's letter, so having done that, why isn't it checked off? That just seems very strange. Huh. There's nothing else to do. I could delete it, I guess. Okay, well, that took care of that. We sorted it out quite nicely. That looks like power conduit. I guess it's paving stones, right? Oh, it's the fence. I get it. Never mind. So I can't designate this as a storage area, I don't think, until... Oh, I take it back. I can. All right, cool. So let's do the same thing over here. Let's designate this as a holding cell. I guess I do the whole thing. Requires entrance. Okay. I can do that. I'm happy to do it. So let's go back to rooms. And let's see if we can make this a holding cell. Nope, it doesn't like that. It's funny. What about if I just take the interior? No, it doesn't like that either. Okay. Yeah, it's required to be indoors. I think they have to finish building it. We'll try the shower head. I think this is going to work. Or the shower, I meant to say, not the shower head. And I don't think this will work. No. No, I can't put in any interior walls until they build the outer shell. So it's coming. All right, we have sort of a holding cell. And I think actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them finish this too. And then I'm going to pause it again. Oh, I see. I'm going to let them get a little bit farther. I don't want to have to constantly stop and start. Okay, so now let's take a look at filling in some spaces here in the holding cell. So the first thing we want, and that would be benches. And I definitely, okay, here we go. You know what? I think stuff will fit in this room better since I've made it kind of long and narrow. If I go vertical. And let's see. I was also going to put a couple of toilets in here. So let's put those up there. And then we'll go ahead and put in a little privacy wall. Because, you know, taking a crap is a thing. It's not something you need to share with others, really. So we need a shower head. Actually, we're going to need more than that. Where's the brick wall? Here it is. So what we're going to do is make a whole little series of shower stalls. And then we're going to put in, under objects, shower heads. And I'm given to understand that water can flood and get quite unpleasant. So in front of every shower head, we're going to put a drain. And think about it. How many bathroom showers have you ever been in that didn't have a drain? Okay. And I think that's going to do it. It is interesting, by the way, that the drain is not required. The shower head's required. The drain is not. So we're going to let them do some of this. How far away? Okay, good. I still have 20 hours. That doesn't seem like too much, by the way. In fact, can I do this? Can I actually just add more workmen? $500? You gotta be freaking kidding me. What am I, Rockefeller? Okay, actually, that reminds me. So here's something I know you can do. They have these grants. We can get $40,000 to build a prison. And I'm going to go ahead and take that. It means we have to do more stuff. But, you know, we have resources. And I'm actually going to put a few more workmen on the case. And then I'll fire them later. And, okay, awesome. So now we have power. Well, we don't actually have power. We have a power generator. And so let's go ahead And I think actually probably the most efficient way to do it is just something like this. None of the stuff in here is really heavy power usage, so. And then we'll build a power conduit to the water pump. Now, as you can tell, this does take a little time. We probably won't finish the building phase in this particular installment, but that's okay. I think it's clear we're going to give it a good start. And as long as I'm sitting here, I might as well go ahead and start running the water as well, right? Actually, hold on. I don't want that. So why don't I build a large pipe like to here, and then a small pipe like that. And I'm going to need some to come over here. So let's do that. And I need to pipe all these stupid shower heads. I think this is the quicker. There we go. So let's just run it. Zoop. See what I'm saying? These poor workers, man, they have a gajillion things to do. Okay. So when this is done, we'll have working holding cell, working showers. The storage area already is working, so I'm pretty happy about that. The main thing we still need to do that we haven't touched is building the kitchen. But I want to let them get a little bit more of this done, I think. Oh, so obviously another thing. Oh, no, that's right. I was going to say we need beds. Beds are for individual cells. We're just going to use the benches in here for right now. If we end up using the holding cell more, we'll do stuff like put a TV in there and crap like that. But there's so much they haven't done. Like they haven't built power conduit to anything. Yeah, they haven't built a lot. I can't tell if those are the paving stones or if that's just where the paving stones are supposed to go. I think there's a report. Yeah. So see, this is all the stuff that is waiting for them to do. I don't see paving stones, so I guess they got those done, which is really good because, you know, that'll help them do the other stuff faster. It looks like the pipes are going in, which is good. I mean, it won't do any good without power, but that's all right. We have a little time. See, look at this. Almost a third, in fact, more than a third of our time is already gone. They've been working flat out the whole time, and, you know, it's still like we have a lot of work to do. Getting the kitchen done, that may actually be a little problematic. But I don't want to start mapping that out. I think it's more efficient to let them just focus on one area, you know, bring materials over there and all that. I could be wrong, but that seems logical. God, it's like watching a little ant farm. Come on, move your asses. You can go faster than that. I'm paying good money for this. Yeah, our day, it's getting close to half over. I'm going to be really lucky if I have a working kitchen, let alone there's so much perimeter fence we need to build. That could be a real problem. Come on. It looks like they're just kind of standing around. That's kind of weird. Oh, so I see. One thing I need to do is bring the paving stones up here. Because that, I think, is partly why they're moving so darn slow. I don't know for sure, but Jesus, guys. Okay, well, we're actually running low on time for this episode. I'm wondering, since I'm not issuing new commands, maybe it would be better if I just let them do some of the building. And then when we pick up next time, like do the commands on screen. I'm not sure. Oh, this is interesting. So we have one shower head that's not working. I see. Yep, it's not working because I didn't run pipe to it. That would explain that. Okay, did they just finish everything? Is that what's going on? Yeah, okay, that's why they stopped. Okay, fair enough. All right, well then you know what? That's a good place, I think, for us to leave it. So we have 11, almost 12 hours exactly. We have gotten through half of this day, and when we come back, we're going to build the kitchen and canteen, as they call it. I would probably refer to it as a dining room, and try to get ready for our first batch of prisoners. Thank you for watching. I hope we see you next time.